It is March. It is time to talk basketball, hockey, and all things that are March Madness. Mike, Max, Patrick, Royce, Trent Tucker, and Sid Hartman. Sidney, what do you want to say? Let's start with the Gophers. Yesterday, they lost to Michigan. Do you think if they beat Penn State, they're in for sure?
I think they have to win a game in the Big Ten tournament.
Beat Penn State plus a game.
I think that's what they have to do. Normally, they don't take more than 6 teams in the NCAA.
From the Big Ten?
From the Big Ten. They're 7th right now. Nebraska's 6th.
Right.
Although their RPI or whatever, all those things are pretty good, who knows? I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of politics in this thing, too. And Rick Pitino could call a couple of guys.
You think Rick Pitino will call on behalf of his son?
Yeah.
No.
I think that's possible.
Patrick, do you think?
Well, they're in the 40. They're what, 47, 8 or 9. So they beat Penn State. They're 45. 45 usually doesn't get in if there's any upsets. That's the problem. You don't. Depends upon who wins the tournaments. If you get some, if you get some lousy, second-rate team that, if St. Louis gets beat and an 8 seed wins that tournament, then you probably get knocked out. So it's up in the air.
What difference does it make if they get in? They can win a game.
Oh yeah, they will. There'll be they can win a game. 10 versus 7. What the heck?
Yeah,
you can win that game.
And I don't know, Trent, in what I see at least, I don't watch it that close across the country, but this whole NCAA basketball is pretty kind of watered down. I mean, Florida's #1 now. Syracuse is lost, but I don't see great teams.
No, there's not one dominant team. So when you look at the teams across the entire landscape, anyone can win, because it's a wide open tournament. And Syracuse has been good all year, but like you said, they're now coming back to the pack. They lost a few games here and there. So I think the team that's playing the best at this time of the year, one of the top teams that's playing the best at this time of the year, may have a chance to go all the way.
And who do you like from the Michigan's an interesting built team. They got a nice team to watch.
I think if there's one team from the Big Ten that can really make a legitimate run, if they're healthy, it could be Michigan State, because they've been there before. Tom Izzo understands how to coach at this time of the year. But the big question for them, are they healthy enough to make a run?
I got to say, going back to Patrick's point with this Beeline,
you don't see
you kind of got this thing figured out too, it looks like.
Yeah, you don't see Michigan State no-show like they did yesterday too often. No, hoofta. At home.
They are not the good Michigan teams of the past.
Michigan or Michigan State?
Which one? Yesterday.
Yeah, that's Michigan State.
Michigan State, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Illinois beat him at home.
Yep.
They have the players. And they're is Dawson back yet?
I don't think he just came back, so he's rounded into shape. But if they can get themselves healthy within the next week or so, and you know how Tom Izzo coaches at this time of year, strong defense, pressure defense, get some easy baskets, they could be picking at the right time.
How about the boys to the east? Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Boy, they're playing good.
Yeah.
What the heck is going on there?
There isn't.
Nebraska needs to beat them to make the tournament next week.
There isn't a dominating team. Louisville got beat yesterday by Virginia Tech.
Memphis. Wasn't it Memphis?
Memphis, I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no real dominating team like there's been in the past, like the great Michigan team, the great Southeastern Conference team, the great Kentucky teams. You don't have those.
Okay, you know what, though? I thought about this again today. You and I were just driving by the Metrodome, which they're tearing down. Amazing how much they've tore it down. It's not the indoor football. It's the NCAA basketball tournaments that I want to see again. They used to have those in the indoor facility. Those are fun.
They will get an NCAA regional for sure in the next pick.
In 1986 they came, and Patrick, the story bears repeating. Jim Valvano comes in here from North Carolina State. Cleveland State's here, a number of different teams. Valvano's teams, for people not familiar, were always accused of not being the most studious.
Yes.
He'd get at-risk athletes.
Yes.
And he steps up to the podium here. We're seeing him for the first time.
Sid, this was a very depressing day for Sid, because you said you liked Notre Dame, and we had Notre Dame here, and they got beat by Little Rock.
Yeah.
That was the same day your pal Bobby Knight lost to Cleveland State in Syracuse.
Yeah.
So Sid was a little depressed the next day.
Yeah.
And he says to Valvano, who's going to get ready to play Little Rock, that Sid says the next day, what do you think of these, I don't know if he uses bandit schools, but the suggestion was that Cleveland State and Little Rock weren't having rigorous academics.
Yeah.
And they knocked off Indiana and Notre Dame. And Valvano looked at Sid and said, Sir, are you accusing us of having too strong of academics at NC State? He says, I love this man. Whoever this is, I love this man. I love this man because that's what he had, Chris Washburn and all those guys.
Yeah, Shackelford and that old. But I tell you, the best thing to get is those first 2 rounds of the tournament for the fan.
Fellas, they stopped playing those in domes.
They did?
Yes, they stopped playing the first round, second rounds in domes. They're playing the.
So Target Center would have a better chance than.
Yeah, they're gonna play them in basketball arenas until they get to the Final Four.
Oh, I don't like that, Sid.
What's that?
If they don't play them in domes, then what's the big deal?
Stop playing them in domes.
They won't give them a Final Four to start with. They want to experiment with the building.
What you're about to say is Patrick just said they don't go to domes anymore for the first couple of rounds. I didn't even know that.
For the
I think they will for this one.
Well, okay, that'd be nice.
I think they'll.
You think they'll change the rules?
No, I think they'll take I want to take a regional in that new building to see how it works.
Well,
Trent, what's with the Gophers and these 15-point leads that they let get down to 5 at halftime and then don't come out in the second half? That's really become a trend, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's become a bad trend for them. When you can't finish off the game the right way, you're going to lose against top teams in this conference. It's really going to put you behind the 8-ball. We've seen that too many times this year from this basketball team.
Yeah, because they had only 22. They scored 95, and they come back with a 22-point first half.
Well, they had Michigan State down, and Michigan State comes back on the road and beat them. Yesterday, they played well enough against Michigan to maybe win that basketball game, but in the first half, like Patrick said,
Here's
they're
why
not
it
going to
doesn't
come back
make
once
sense
again.
to me, Trent. Maybe you can explain it. Usually that happens when you have a deficiency at your guard play, but their guard play is their strength and should be in the last few minutes in terms of closing teams out. Why is that not translated?
I would like to see them find a little bit more balance to their offense. They like to go up and down. They shoot the 3. That's fun basketball to watch. But when that team begins to make a run, you don't have one design play or one player you're going to throw the ball to see if he can stop their run. They have to find an inside game to balance off the game they want to play on the outside.
At moments, Mo's been that guy.
And he has to be that guy consistent enough for this team to take the next step.
Yeah, you can't just throw the ball to Eliason or Mo Walker and say either get fouled or score a basket. They've improved, but they're not at that level yet.
Well, they need to come to that level because if you want to balance off this thing and make a serious run, you're going to need the inside game to complement the outside game.
I think those reserves he puts in are not nearly as good as this first team.
Yeah, but you say that, but then you were all upset today because Bugs didn't play enough yesterday.
Well, I thought Bugs should play after he did what he did against Iowa. He don't put Bugs in till 7.5 minutes to play. And then he puts him in for a very short time and takes him out.
How about Shabazz? What happened to Shabazz? We don't know what happened to Shabazz.
Stay with us.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Canterbury Park 24/7 Card Club. Don't forget the Card Club at Canterbury Park. Cambria, makers of quality quartz surfaces. Ticket King. For the best price on tickets anywhere, try Ticket King. Soundpoint Audiology. Life is worth hearing. And Cuisine Concepts. Franklin Street Bakery at 11th and Franklin in South Minneapolis, just down from Mall of America Field. And Taste of the NFL. Proud to be the premier Super Bowl party with a purpose to support hunger relief locally and nationally.
Quality. It's the result of shared values. The joy found in an honest day's work. Respect for true American craftsmanship and the need, not the want, to get things right. It's the result of remembering your roots, being forever humbled by how far you've traveled and forever hungry to push on further. Quality is a result. Quality is who we are. Cambria. Family owned, American made.
Once I got done with Summit Academy, I was happy, I was feeling good, knowing that in that 20 weeks, I was on my way, and I also got a job here.
No out-of-pocket cost to you and no loans paid back. Call Summit Academy at 612-377-0150.
This is Steve Terry for TSR Injury Law. If you've been injured in a crash, do not wait to give us a call. The first 10 days are very important. Trust me. The Bad Drivers Insurance Company, they're not waiting. They've already hired attorneys, investigators, and adjusters to collect evidence against you. If you want ethical, aggressive representation, call us right now. Our phone number is TSR time. That's 612-TSR-TIME.
Hi, at Dale Festi Automotive, we know you don't want to trust your car to just anybody. That's why we only hire ASE certified technicians to get the job right the first time. This commitment to excellence has led to being selected AAA Top Shop 12 years running. If you want your car fixed right the first time, bring it to Dale Festi Automotive in Hopkins. On the corner of 18th and Main Street and on the web at dalefestiautomotive.com. Mention that you saw this ad and get 15% off labor and installation.
What can Family Feud do to a family? Name something you'd hate to accidentally drop in the toilet.
Your teeth.
Your teeth.
Family Feud. Tomorrow at 6 and 6:30 on CW23.
Audi A4 drivers have spoken. And they rank the A4 highest in total quality index in its class. Experience the new Audi A4 at your local dealer today.
Looking for a nice, big, juicy rack of ribs?
Fabulous chops, huge steaks, and the Buddy Bowl? Then J.D. Hoyt's is the place for you. Hoyt's opened in 1983, and Mike Andrews and his partner John White have kept this Minnesota tradition at the top of the food chain. Managing owner Pat Montague gives us a tour.
At J.D. Hoyt's, enjoy a relaxed atmosphere, great food, friendly service, private dining room, second-to-none happy hour, just blocks from the new ballpark.
Located at 394 in North Washington. Locally owned, nationally known. Hoyt.
Can't beat characters.
There it is, J.D. Hoyt's, locally owned, nationally known, and a great place these cold weather days to stop in, relax, and have a great meal and say hi to Pat and the gang. Great hangout, J.D. Hoyt's. Welcome back to the Sports Show. Mike Max, Patrick Reusse, Trent Tucker, and Sid Hartman. The Timberwolves, do you believe now they're a playoff team?
I think they got a chance. I mean, I think if they stay healthy, and the level has been very effective, but I think with the big guy from Europe healthy now, Pekovic, I think that makes Love even more effective.
And Martin?
Martin, he made some shots last night that were unbelievable shots. I never seen a guy shooter like him. Have you?
Not with that technique.
Shoots off his right shoulder. That is. You would have thought that some shooting coach would have tried to talk him out of that 20 years ago.
Yeah, he and Jamal Wilkes both.
Yeah.
Well, you just let it go if it's good, huh?
Yeah, I mean, if it's working, they'll leave it alone.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? That you'd always say, okay, you shoot it down here, they're going to block it. But I still don't think anybody guarding him can believe that.
It's down there.
Can believe it. That he's actually going to do it.
If you were teaching shooting, what you do, you give some instruction to kids on how to shoot. You certainly wouldn't give them that Martin's.
No, not at all. Not at all. I would say that's the wrong way to shoot, but it's effective. And once a guy has mastered a certain technique, you just leave it alone if it's working.
So, Patrick, they got a good schedule, but it's a long, daunting task.
Well, they're chasing two good teams, too. Golden State and Memphis are both good. That's the trouble. They're going to win. Golden State and Memphis are going to win 65% of their games. So how many you got to win? 60% of their games. So how many do you got to win? They can catch Phoenix, but they still got to catch either Golden State or Memphis.
They're going to need some help, and they're going to have to continue to play well for sure because, you know, Phoenix right now has like a 5-game lead on them, and they're going to need for some of those teams to come back to them, but they're going to need some help to make the playoffs if they have a chance.
Tell me about the scouting of Curry and Thompson, the backcourt for Golden State. Both of them could have been had, you know, neither one were lottery picks, or at least Curry was the bottom half if he was the lottery. Obviously, some people had questions about both. How do those two get scouted so well by Golden State and they have a vision and other teams can't put that together?
It's a perfect system for them. You know, when Mark Jackson and his staff began to look at those two players, they had a system that would work for them. Up and down the floor, a lot of pick and roll basketball, three-point shooting. It fits their games very, very well. And when your staff goes out and identify exactly how we're going to play, they can find the right personnel to fit it.
How did he stop Gay the second half? You got 19 points in the first half. You got nothing in the second half.
We're back to just for you people out there, we're back to the Timberwolves Sacramento game last night. Rudy Gay is who he's referring to.
I don't think the Wolves did anything to stop him. I think his coach took him out of the game by not passing him the basketball.
But Trent, you can tell that Steph Curry is a coach's. I mean, as his dad played.
Yeah.
You can tell he's been playing since he's 3 because he knows where to find the seam on the basketball court.
You know,
the first time I saw him play as a pro, I was saying, he's always open.
Right. I had no idea that he would be able to handle the ball and get a shot off like he's doing at the pro level. When I saw him in college and they ran a lot of screens for him, and the big question was he quick enough and could he get a shot off? Boy, he surprised so many people.
Steph Curry.
Yeah. Well, if they could have a chance to have Cousins and Curry, they'd be a pretty good team if they had those two guys.
Would you have taken Cousins at that time with his baggage?
Not at that time. I'd have been afraid to take DeMarcus Cousins at that time.
Just to hire a bail bondsman and have him travel with you. I
mean, if you're going to bring John Calipari along with him.
John run the show. He got tossed out of a game, too, the other night to the Kentucky coach.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you look at Cousins has really kind of taken this game to a whole new level, but it hasn't translated into many wins for Sacramento. So when they begin to talk about the future of their team, will he be the main guy to pay big money to?
Last night, actually, if Rubio don't make that three-point shot, they're going to win the game. And he is shooting 34% on three-pointers.
But Flip said this morning, he said, I didn't realize his percentage is worse inside the three-point circle than it is outside.
Oh, it wasn't a three-point?
No, it was, but he's saying that he actually is better at shooting three-pointers than he is when he takes his game inside of it.
Well, he's,
of course, he's always going to have an open three-pointer.
But once he gets inside, now he's trying to make moves against bigger players, so he's taking difficult shots.
Is he a good player or not?
He's a very good point guard. He's going to have to improve his outside game for his game to go to another, help this team take another step, because he's going to be open. You know, with that 15 to 20-foot jump shot when the game is on the line, he's going to have to show that he can step up and make that shot.
Would you believe that he's your future point guard?
Right now, I would say yes, because what he's lacking. I believe that we find the right person to get him in the gym consistently, we can make him a better shooter.
Does he need to be able to shoot better?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think we covered that. Take a break, come back. The sports show, Steve.
Attention, please get a pencil. Announcing a hearing breakthrough, a microchip that is so small it can fit on the head of a pin, worn hidden entirely in your ear canal, making you hear clear as a bell. And it's proudly made in the USA. Do you feel left out of conversations? Is it difficult to hear words in noisy environments? Do others say that you listen to the TV or radio too loudly? Do you feel like a bother to others due to your problems hearing? If you answered yes, you may qualify for this new chip in the ear. Only 50 participants are needed to try this microchip, so get a pencil. Call now to see if you qualify. This revolutionary chip actually mimics the natural sound selection of the human ear. With multi-core microprocessors, technology used in the most advanced computers, sounds are analyzed and classified each millisecond, controlling noise and making speech clear. Do not wait. Call now to see if you qualify to wear this revolutionary new microchip.
I have evidence that proves my dad's a space alien. Speaks a weird language. Drinks green stuff. He says he's from Albuquerque. I'm not buying it. I mean, just look at him. And one more thing. He has a spaceship. The evidence doesn't lie. My dad is an alien.
The highly advanced Audi A6, named to Car and Driver's 10 Best. Experience exceptional value on the Audi A6 at your local dealer today.
Audi Minneapolis, stop on by, see Bruce, Bonnie, Charlie, and the whole gang right up 394 on General Mills Boulevard. Perfect for every season. That is the Audi. Welcome back to the sports show. Here's an interesting, so let's just say the Timberwolves and the Wild are both playing for playoff spots here, and they're both really competitive down the stretch. Which one garners more interest if they're both at the same place? The Timberwolves or the Wild? Which one draws better? Which one has better ratings? Which one will do better?
I think the Timberwolves will have better rating because basketball has better rating. But I think that the hockey fans are such fantastic hockey fans. If they get in the playoff, they'll sell out every game. I'm not so sure the Timberwolves will sell out.
Patrick?
Well, yeah, the TV ratings probably, but you know, as I said last week, that the day that Craig Leopold was smart enough to sign Suter and Parisi, changed that franchise back to automatic sellout and a lot of interest. So.
Trent, you were even at a hockey game last night.
I went out and watched Gus Davis.
What was that like for you?
It was fun. I went out and watched my nephew play. You know, he's a freshman now down at Gus Davis. They won a tough game last night, 3-2. They came back to beat St. John's in the third period.
Say, Gustavus opened in the Civil War 152 years ago. First female president was named this week.
Yeah.
And Medtronic executive.
Yeah, they moved her over as president.
Holmberg, I think,
Yep.
or she was on the board of trustees down there. One of my favorite campuses, even without the trees that they used to have down there.
Gustavus used to have Myra Memorial Fieldhouse, and Myra Memorial Fieldhouse was Minnie Williams Arena, and it was the best place in the world to have section basketball games because people would just pack it, and you'd get the same ambiance as Williams Arena with the hollow floor, and it was built the same. I mean, I'm sure it was built in the same era, and that was the best place to play when I played in high school. The best place to play was Myra Memorial Fieldhouse.
They used to dominate all sports. I can remember years before we had all the professional sports. Dick Cullum and a guy named Louis Mose and myself would go down to every one of their football games.
Really?
And stand on the sidelines. Well, Mose was a gambler, and you could bet on Gustavus.
Lloyd Hollingsworth was the football coach.
Yeah, back in the day, things were a little bit different.
Yes.
Same way with basketball. Evelyn Young was a cheerleader for Gustavus. When Gus Young was the basketball player, they played a lot of good teams. They were the St. Thomas of prison.
Yeah, at the time, yep. Patrick, what do you make of Darcy Kemper going on the road, a shutout, one win, shuts him down in the shootout? I mean, this is...
Goaltenders are like relief pitchers. They're like closers, man. If you're, they're either hot or they're not. And you know, you put your, you know, there's about 5 or 6 of them that you know are going to be great every year, and there's about 25 of them that, you know, how about Nicholas Backstrom? Oh, he was
this deal,
outstanding, and then he was no good. What happened?
People remember T.J. Oshie, of course, and the shootout and what he did. This deal the other night where he shuts down 7 players from Vancouver and they end up winning the game, that was unbelievable.
Yep, in the shootout.
You've seen a lot of good goaltenders. I know you're a little bit biased to Gump Worsley.
At one time, the North Stars had 3 goaltenders. They had Maniego, they had Worsley, and another one. This club here is taking a chance. What happens if this kid gets hurt?
What about Ryan Miller? Did you think they should have traded for him?
No.
I don't know nothing about Ryan Miller.
Okay. I just want to put it on the record. Back after this.
If you guys could go on a free shopping spree anywhere, where would you go?
I'd go to the grocery store. Pizza, ice cream.
I'd go shop for clothes.
You know where I go? I go to Ticket King. Ticket King!
At Ticket King, you can buy great seats for the Vikings,
Christian Ponder,
the Wild,
Zach Parise,
the Timberwolves,
Ricky Rubio,
and of course the Twins.
We love the Twins.
Yep, this is where I go. Vikings, Twins, Wild, Timberwolves, Gophers, theater, and concerts too.
Justin Bieber! Hey, I like him first.
For details, go to ticketkingonline.com. Any ticket, anytime, anywhere. It's the real thing.
It's Ticket King.
Right, Dad?
Couldn't have said it any better myself.
That's for sure.
The visibility and the awareness that this particular year brings to the issue of hunger is a dream come true.
The world turns its eyes to one place, And then Taste the NFL stands up and says, and as long as you're looking here, don't forget what else is here.
I hate the fact that little kids go hungry. I hate the fact that even grandmas that can't afford medicine or food, they give up food.
This is a cause that's very near and dear to my heart. It's so relevant, and to actually hear about hunger, we hear about the statistics, but to see it, firsthand, it's a very different thing.
There are a lot of people who are having to decide whether to pay the heat bill or have enough food, and so the need is there. The need is great, and we're people who are well positioned to help meet that need.
Kansas.
There it is, Taste of the NFL. Say no more. Wayne Kostrowski got it going on. Party with a purpose, but more importantly, they're giving away to a great cause, and that is to feed the hungry. Welcome back to the Sports Show. People ask, what is this thing that you've got around your neck?
Well, you saw the Starkey commercial. This is a new little gimmick that Starkey came out with.
It's more than a gimmick. It's a great product.
A good product that helps your hearing, and my hearing's terrible, and this helps a lot.
Very good.
Hey, Miguel Sano. We better bring up Miguel Sano.
Yeah, so he's going to sit on the sidelines.
He'll be
Tommy
out
John.
for quite a while. Yeah, he hurt the elbow in October, and they thought they could rehab it. They couldn't rehab it, and thank God they didn't take my advice and call him up last September because he would be sitting out a year that would count as Major League service time. At least he's not on the 40-man roster now, so you're not... he'll come back next. He'll have a winter. He'll probably play in the Caribbean, and he turns 22 next May 11th. So they'll get him up here when he's still 22 years old. It's not the end of the world.
No.
And people say, well, where's he going to play? Well, they're going to fix his elbow, and he's going to play third base.
Yeah, it is the end of the world, because they had one chance with him coming up and being a real good hitter to give him some offense.
No, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. Do you think they're going to go to the World Series if Sano got called up? He'll be up next year. He'll be up next year when he's 22 instead of being up this year when he's 21.
Yeah, but they might have scored some runs this year if he could.
Well, I don't trust it anymore after last year with Hicks and all that. I don't know. I'd rather see these guys wait a little longer.
Sano as a prospect's here, and Hicks was a good prospect, but not.
But I thought he hit more than 120, in the first couple months.
Yeah, I did too. Well, you know what? You know what his problem is, Maxie? When you were playing baseball and they threw you a strike, you swung at it. You didn't say, I want to get to you didn't take a 3-1 pitch because it was this far off the plate. He's a product of too much patience.
But that, as Tom Kelly says, the mind is a dangerous thing for young baseball players.
And the whole
that's what
new
he is.
stat deal is that the walk's as good as a hit and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, a walk's as good as a hit, but it ain't as good as a double.
That's right, but he looks so athletic and what.
Well, the only guy that could walk and hit was Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
Get all the walks and still hit home runs.
Yeah, that's right.
But he has some extra help,
though,
didn't he?
for today.
Pardon me?
Closing thoughts.
Closing thoughts? We still haven't got any winners.
You're still not sold on any of these teams.
There's a question about whether either team will be in the playoffs or whether the Wild will be in.
I choose to be optimistic.
We're not like Boston, where they had everybody won.
See you back here next week.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Canterbury Park 24/7 Card Club. Don't forget the Card Club at Canterbury Park. Cambria, makers of quality quartz surfaces. Ticket King. For the best price on tickets anywhere, try Ticket King. Soundpoint Audiology. Life is worth hearing. And Cuisine Concepts. Franklin Street Bakery at 11th and Franklin in South Minneapolis, just down from Mall of America Field. And Taste of the NFL. Proud to be the premier Super Bowl party with a purpose to support hunger relief locally and nationally.